Hello Aquarius, how are you today? So this is meant to be a little bit of fun and I'm just asking, what does spooky season have in store for you? So October is well underway at this point and I'm just going to find out, what Halloween, spooky season, the equinox, this kind of autumnal energy has for you. So we'll see. It is meant to be a little bit lighthearted, so don't take it too seriously. It is going to be perhaps a little bit spooky, but I don't know. We'll see. Could be something to do with your throat chakra here. My throat chakra kind of got very closed as I started to move into your energy, and I'm seeing the High Priestess a lot. And the High Priestess knows but doesn't say things. So we'll find out. Aquarius, then, please. Spooky season for Aquarius. Am I supposed to take this? The Empress. Anything else for Aquarius? Aha, Capricorn just had this as well. Knight of Pentacles. There's something that's slow moving. There's something that's a slow process, and yeah, Capricorn just had this, so maybe go and check out that reading if you feel like this Nine of Wands energy applies for you. It's the Wounded Warrior card. It's talking about fighting a last battle. It's like you're nearly there, you're nearly at the finish line, but there's one thing that you have left to do. So perhaps go and check out their reading if that applies to you, because they've been in that energy for a long, long time. And then you've got the Empress. Now the Empress, it could be you. If it's you, you've kind of got everything going for you at this time. The Empress is all four queens of the tarot, and she's very capable, very creative. The Empress says this is a time of great abundance for you. Now, you have got Jupiter, I believe, in your sign at the moment, transversing your sign. So Jupiter is the planet of luck and good fortune and growth and abundance. It's like anything you do now, anything you plant now, there is potential for it to get really big for you. So it's a good time for planting seeds and waiting for them to grow, basically, even if it is kind of a slow process. So yeah, very creative energy, very supportive energy, very empowered. If this is you, it's really good. I'd say that you absolutely have everything you need to be going down and doing what needs to be done if you're in Empress energy. Now, it could also be, I often talk about the Nine of Wands as being a card where you are facing those inner demons. You are doing the hard things that need doing. Really, you've also got Saturn in your chart, and Saturn is the planet of tough life lessons. It's tough love. It's doing what needs to be done. It's nose to the grindstone kind of energy. So I feel like if you've been in this period of kind of working very hard, really taking a deep dark look at yourself, doing what needs to be done, facing your inner demons, I think it is taking you to Empress energy, because I always say you don't get to be the Empress or the Emperor if you've had an easy life. Yes, you see people who are like, born with a silver spoon in the mouth and they become a CEO of a business. That doesn't mean that they're an Emperor or an Empress. It can, those cards can indicate that. But for me, true Emperor and Empress energy, it could be anyone. It could be, the old man that you meet on the bus. They're giving me what's that song? What if God was one of us? Just a slob like one of us, just a stranger on the bus trying to make his way home. It could just be an old man on a bus, and he seems like an old soul. He's got, that kind of wisdom about him, that kind of godlike energy about them. You do meet people like that sometimes. So, anyone can be an Emperor and Empress energy. It basically just means that you've learn a lot of lessons, and you've become all four kings or all four queens of the tarot, where you've experienced everything life has to offer, and you know what you're doing now. It's that kind of energy for me. So you do get to be the Empress or the Emperor because you've been through trials and things that have been difficult, and you've come out the other end, and you've come out with a lot of lessons and a lot of a growth and maturity and wisdom at the other side. So that's kind of what I'm getting here for you. It's understanding, maybe you're in some kind of rest period at the moment, where you're looking back at the things that you've been through in your life, the things that have been really difficult, and you're thinking, well, okay, I went through that. I wish I hadn't, but I did. I'm out the other side now. I've survived. So what did I learn from that experience? What can I take forward, so that I don't repeat those same mistakes from the past, or so that I don't find myself in those positions again? So or even like if these kind of things do come up for me again, because I'm not saying it's your fault in any sort of way, Aquarius. I'm saying that it's like if no one ever shows us how to ride a bike and we're presented with a bike, we might not know what to do with it, right? It's going to take us a while to figure out, oh, right, I put my butt on the saddle, you know, I put my feet on these spinny things. And then, oh, when I press on this spinny thing, it goes forward. If I press on this spinny thing, does it go backwards? No, it doesn't. Okay, so how do I turn backwards? So if you're not given the instructions, if nobody tells you how to do something, you don't know how to do it. You know, you only know how to ride a bike because perhaps you've seen someone else ride a bike, or you've pedaled something else before. So, but if you presented with a bike and you've got no knowledge of what that is or how it functions, you've got to figure it out. And this is kind of what this energy is. It's like, I'm in a situation, I don't know how to deal with it, so I've got to figure it out. And you do figure it out, and then those tools go in that toolbox, you know, the toolbox of life, where, you know, if this situation comes up again, or if I have to deal with something like this again, I know how I'm going to deal with it. I had a situation once where I moved house, and I had an account with a catalogue, which I didn't realise. I'd kind of been scammed into opening the account in the first place. I thought I was signing up for a catalogue, but they opened an account. So when I moved house, somebody who moved in after me, the catalogue was delivered through the door, and they bought about £200 worth of stuff on my account. And so a while later, I got some bailiffs after me. Where's this money that you owe? And I was like, I didn't buy anything from the catalogue, but I was scared. When you get these bailiff letters, it's scary. So I kind of panicked and paid it. I didn't know what else to do. So I had a few more experiences where, you know, never my fault. I always pay my bills, you know. Things happened. A water company, there was a genuine mistake with a water company where I needed to pay, and it was my fault, that one. I needed to pay a bill. I just didn't know. So I paid that one, you know. And then like another one where I was dealing with this electric company, but I'd learnt my experiences from like the water company. So when I moved into the house, I took photographs on the day that I moved in of all the electric meters, you know, and I rang them up and I told them, this is you know, we're moving in today. This is what the electric meter says. I took photos when I moved out, you know, all this kind of stuff. And this electric company which was one of these smaller companies, but the admin was hopeless. So they kept sending me bills for different amounts for the same period, you know, different prices and different amounts for the same period. And I'd give them the meter readings, but they'd still give me like, I'd pay the bill and they'd ask for more money, and I'd have to like say, look, here's here's my bank statement, I paid this bill. So eventually I moved out thinking that I'd fully settled, paid everything they asked me to pay. And it still carried on happening. We got bailiffs who were saying, you owe this money, give us this money. And it was ridiculous. And the ombudsman, like by that point, I knew how to deal with these things. I knew to go to citizens' advice. I knew to contact the ombudsman. I knew that, like, I had all the documentation to say I paid all the bills that I had. You know, I took photographs of the meter reading. So I 100% had all the documentation to say that I'd paid everything because I'd learnt from the experience. So yeah, ultimately this stupid electric company had to give me money because they'd wasted my time and, you know, yeah, been awful. So this is what I'm saying though. The first time it ever happened to me, I didn't know how to deal with it. I panicked. I was bullied into paying something that wasn't my fault and I didn't know. Because I'd learnt these lessons, I became more like the Empress in dealing with it and saying, actually, no, I fact check yourself because I've got all the evidence here, you know. So, but it's because of those early experiences that I learnt from that. So that was a very long-winded way of me saying, you've learnt from something, Aquarius. I'm sorry that it was such a ramble. I don't know, maybe somebody needs to hear it. Whenever something comes out, there's something that somebody needs to hear in the little story that I waffle on about. What else for Aquarius, please? Chariot. Yeah, taking control. Having success because you're taking control of a situation. After doing some deep soul searching. Yeah, absolutely. So learning the lessons, doing the soul searching, what I have been through, what was I supposed to learn from that? It's bringing you into Empress energy, Chariot energy, able to make informed decisions based on deep soul searching. So whatever decisions you're making, you're going to have success because you've soul searched about it. You've had a lot of deep thought about whatever it is that you're doing. Aquarius energy, spooky season, Aquarius energy. You've got the Devil card there, so, and the Tower card. Yeah, no, this is, you've got the upper hand now. You've got the upper hand. The Devil can't control you anymore. The Devil and the Tower card, that is a structure breaking down that was keeping you chained, or that was keeping you stuck. It's an energy of somebody trying to control you, trying to keep you trapped, and then the universe coming in and saying, absolutely not. You know, this tower's going to fall. This tower is not right for Aquarius. They aren't supposed to be here. It's almost like Sleeping Beauty in the tower, right? Sleeping Beauty in the tower, being trapped by, you know, Mother Gothel, or you know, the Wicked Witch, whoever you want to see this as. Somebody trapped, somebody chained, somebody imprisoned, right? Unfairly, I want to say, with this Devil card here. But it's almost as though, so I was going to say getting broken out and going off on the chariot, you know, being carried away by the handsome prince. I don't know if you've got something with Capricorn, because Capricorn was getting all this Prince Charming business of, you know, leaving the castle behind, kind of thing. What I'm getting from here, do you see this kind of like blue colour of this Devil here? It's like it's like he's in the tower. So he's actually in the tower, and it's almost like he's bursting out. His energies is what's making the tower fall from within. So I don't think this is a bad Devil. I could read it two ways, right? I almost feel like this is your... Okay, so I feel like this is a run-on reading from Capricorn, because what's happening here is this person's going into the underworld. They're facing their inner demons, right? They're squaring off to the devil within, right? So then this person goes down and they face their demons head on. And when you do that, when you do shadow work and you face your inner demons, you take control of the devil, is what happens. It's like the devil works for you now. So then you come back up, and you can't be contained anymore, because they're giving me the word structure. It's like that structure doesn't work for you anymore, because you so I don't know how this works in your everyday life. So if it's just a story, it's just a story. So what I've been getting for Capricorn was like they went down. It was like Orpheus. So if you know the story of Orpheus, I think on his wedding day, his wife is bit by a snake and she dies, and he goes down into the underworld, and he actually goes up to, you could say that this is like the devil and Persephone, right? He goes up, it's not the devil, it's Hades, Pluto, which is in Capricorn sign at the moment. Pluto is in Capricorn sign. So it's like he goes to the throne room and he sits there and he says to Pluto, can I have my wife back, please? And Pluto's like, I don't know about that. I'm not really meant to let souls go back up to the overworld. He's pretty decent, actually, if you know the stories of Hades, Pluto from mythology. And Persephone, who is his consort, his wife, is a little bit more understanding, and she says, kind of, let's hear him out. And Orpheus plays them a piece of music. Now, he's a brilliant musician, and the music that he plays is so, there's like so much mourning in it, and it's so beautiful, and it brings out all these emotions, and it's like the Persephone and Hades then understand how he's feeling, and I think they both move to tears, and Persephone says, you know, can you do something for him? And, you know, they're agreeable, and they say, okay, if you can leave the underworld and guide your wife by the hand and not look back, you can take her out. But if you look back, that's it, you've broke the deal. And he does look back. And so his wife stays in the underworld, and Orpheus goes back up to the surface. But this feels more like a story of somebody who went down into themselves, right? This is somebody doing shadow work within, doing soul searching, looking within to find something. It's like they went down to find something inside themselves, and in doing so, they actually defeated their inner demons and took ownership of them. and became very empowered. And what they're actually bringing back up out of that darkness is this devil in chains, where they're coming out very, very empowered. What a funny reading. I get funny readings today. Because what I want to say is the devil only keeps us chained. I'm talking metaphorically. The devil within only keeps us chained if we allow them to. So when we are ruled by our fears and that stops us from doing something, that keeps us small and chained. When we indulge in an addiction, that keeps us small and chained. When we really look at ourselves and we do that soul searching and we say, I'm going to own my own shit, you know, all this kind of like, you know, my ego, my fears, my, you know, victim mentality where I blame other people for my problems, my, yeah, just all my shit, you know, that I try not to, you know, I'd rather not look at. It's hard to look at myself. It's hard to look at yourself in the mirror and really, really, truly see yourself, and own your mistakes and own up to the things that, you know, aren't good about yourself. And when you really, really do that work, that shadow work, and you drop your ego, that's when the devil can't control you anymore, the devil within. And then it works for you then, because you're owning it, right? You've got the Two of Cups under that. And that's like lighting the dynamite, right? Lighting the dynamite within. This is like yin yang. This is like, you know, the angel and the devil becoming one. And I'm talking about the angel and the devil within, right? Becoming one, becoming whole, becoming a whole person. Not trying to be perfect and not trying to be a monster either, but understanding that you're a mix of both, and that's healthy and that's human and that's normal. Accepting the darker parts of yourself and saying, I'm not going to give in to them anymore. I'm not going to indulge in them anymore. I'm not going to be ruled by this bullshit anymore. I'm going to be a strong person. And then breaking out of the societal systems, the rules, the self-made ego, the self-made, I think you had something like this in your last reading. You know, the construct of self that we create through our ego in the world. I'm not a psychologist. I can't talk about this like in a entirely Freudian way, but you know, the mask that we wear. The mask that we wear so that we fit in with society. The mask that we think we have to wear so that our friends will like us. Why do we want people to like us if they don't really like us? They like a mask, you know? Capricorn has something very similar. So this is the facade cracking and really showing up in your true power as your true self. Right? All right. I want to read the Empress because I read the Nine of Wands for Cappy, so you can go and check that out if you want to know the meaning of the card, but I'm just reading one and I'm going to read the Empress. I want to say this is Capricorn energy, this is Scorpio energy. A lot of people feel afraid when they see the devil or the tower in their reading. I want to say that that's part of the devil's energy. It's like keeping you scared, right? Ultimately, if you want to think about it in terms of Pluto, Scorpionic energy is Pluto, Capricorn energy is Saturn. It's just energy at the end of the day, and it's the lessons that are attached to that energy that's important. I think Capricorn's reading had this double devil energy, you know, the devil card, which is Saturn, and the tower card, which is Scorpio, which is Pluto. So Pluto, Hades, you know, double devil. So it's meant to serve you. It is meant to serve you. And when you flip that on its head and understand it, then that's when you have the personal growth and the success, because you understand that the devil is giving you challenges. Saturn energy gives you challenges. Are you going to step up to the plate? Are you going to face this challenge head on? Are you going to deal with your own bullshit? Or are you going to stay trapped by your own shadow energy? You know, Saturn's that tough love energy of, here's a tough lesson, are you up for the challenge? You know, ultimately it's making you grow, it's making you stronger, it's making you a bigger, better, smarter person. The Tower card, Scorpionic, Plutonic energy is destructive. It goes in with like a keen eye to find all the faults and find all the flaws, right? And then it's almost like they're showing me like you know, Jenga or Kaplunk, where you pull the sticks out and things fall down. So it's like it's Pluto energy goes in and looks for the weak points and pulls out you know, pulls out the things that weren't properly secure so that things fall down. But it's to make you aware of the problems, it's to make you aware of the weak points so that you can reassess and you can strengthen them and you can rebuild on a more secure foundation. So once you understand that both of these energies, these planets, are actually serving you by making you aware of your own weaknesses, making you aware of the parts of yourself that need that extra work, you know, the structure of your soul, if you want to talk about it that way, then you can understand that they're here to serve you, not to trap you. They only trap you if you allow yourself to be trapped. But I think you know that. I think that's why you're the Empress. Dreaming of an everlasting garden, a petal that isn't torn, a heart that will not harden, a place where I can be born in my perfect garden. That's a Madonna song, guys, The Secret Garden. I am here to tell you that abundance is around you now. You must deeply connect to your feminine energy and give birth to all your potentials. I am the guardian of your inner garden, so that you may, inner garden, right? What did I say? What's within. So that you may feel free to express yourself. Now I'm getting Madonna again. Express yourself. Oh, baby, ready or not? Why? What's with all the Madonna? The night is young. The night is young and you're so glamorous. I keep getting things with the Capricorn's reading as well. That was Robin Hood. That was Robin Hood Men in Tights. Capricorn got Robin Hood Prince of Thieves, and Men in Tights is the parody of that, right? The night is young and you're so glamorous. And if I feel over, I'm amorous, baby. I'm liking the energy. The energy's getting really good, okay? The night is young and the world is rich, full of flowers that wish to blossom. You are one of those flowers. They're giving me Madonna's Secret Garden again. You've been growing ideas for a while, and now is the time to bring forth those projects. Connect with the beauty of nature and be part of it, truly. In your heart, listen to what Mother Earth has to say to you. I also encourage you to play a caring, nurturing, loving role to those around you. Feel and create abundance just like I am myself, serenely do. That doesn't make sense. Let me read that again. Feel and create abundance just like I am myself, serenely do. I don't know, that doesn't read right to me, but you understand what they're saying. Abundance, protection, birth, fertility, nature, and motherhood. All right, I don't know, maybe having a baby or birthing a new project. Definitely taking control. Definitely, the Chariot card normally has a white white horse and a black horse, which says that when you feel, you know, sometimes you can feel torn in two different directions. You can feel like you want to take two paths, but the real meaning of the Chariot card is you bring those two sides of the self together in order to move forward. So it is talking about the two sides of the self, the angel and the devil on your shoulder, and bringing them into alignment and seeing them as one, right? And then moving forwards. So it's the partnership of the yin and the yang energy, the emperor and the empress. And when you do that, when you become whole, that's when you get into this, you know, success, victory, fast forward movement energy. So this is a very, very good reading, I want to say, Aquarius, okay? And I would give you a bit of a warning and say you have got Jupiter and Saturn in your chart at the moment. In 2023, Pluto's going to move into your chart, so you're going to want to make sure that you know, you've worked with Saturn to do the shadow work to make sure that your foundations are secure and firm and not faulty, because when Pluto comes into your sign, anything that isn't secure, anything that isn't solid and dependable is going to fall. So you've got, I want to say, you know, you've got a good year to really learn those lessons that Saturn's teaching you. to put them into practice, to get used to them, to test your own foundations now, and be authentic, because anything inauthentic can't stand when Pluto comes into your sign in 2023. And that's not a scary warning, that's a get ready, you know, now's the time. And make it work for you. Adjustments are required. So there is something that you need to be honest with yourself about, I think. And then it says balance spirituality and practicality, full moon in Pisces, and it's time to release negativity, full moon in Scorpio. So again, negativity is how you perceive something, how you look at something. Pluto and Saturn are not negative energy, they're here to serve you, but it's all in the way that you look at it, right? It's what do you do with those lessons? Okay. These are meant to be quick readings. Have you been so head in the clouds that you've lost touch with reality? If so, take this card as a sign that you need to pay attention and make a concerted effort to move towards your goals. The more practical steps you can take, hello Saturn, this feels like very Saturn energy. The more practical steps you can take, the better. It's time to find an inner balance between your responsibilities and your dreams. Meditate on your question, and the solutions to your issue may now come through very clearly. If you're in a tricky situation because you've been acting like the martyr, this card will be a message from the cosmos to drop the act for everybody's sake. Meditate every day and see what comes to you. Answers will come. You're in a super romantic but not super realistic state. Follow your intuition, it won't let you down. At worst, this card can herald the end of a dream. The person you've been inquiring about is a soulmate. Avoid substance abuse. Hello, devil. Okay, and then you've got full moon in Scorpio. If you've been feeling paranoid and acting weird, take this card as a very direct message from the cosmos to stop it. It's like this was the message from Saturn, and now you're getting the message from Pluto, from Scorpio. Worrying yourself is pointless. It's time to release any negativity you have around the situation you're asking about. If someone has been unkind to you, perhaps it's time for you to release them. This card heralds an emotionally intense time, since both full moon and Scorpio themselves are both extremely intense. It's time for you to feel all your feelings. There could be some nastiness in the air when you pull this card, and if that's the case, take it as a sign to move away from anyone or anything you feel is toxic. Right? For some, however, this card has a totally different meaning. Your sex life can improve now if you make an effort. Use your magic. You have all you need inside you to bring about your desired results. Emote, it's better out than in. It's time to move from living fearfully to living joyfully. Didn't I say that, right? Really, you know, doing the shadow work, defeating the inner demon, dropping the act, living authentically and living a happy life because it's authentic, right? You're right to have your suspicions. Grudges are toxic. Let something go, and the end of an argument approaches. Okay. I'm just going to read this teaching as well. The full moon in Scorpio has a sting in its tail. It can herald a vindictive end to a relationship. It can also be a time when we want to be good, but we're naughty. If you pull this card, no matter when, your dark side and your shadow self may be showing. Didn't I say that? The full moon in Scorpio is also a time of magic. If you were thinking of making some magic, now is your sign to do it. So, difficult reading, but an empowering reading. I hope it was helpful to you, Aquarius. Do take the lessons on board. Don't be scared of seeing the worst sides of yourself in the mirror, okay? And admitting them, and it hurts, but it's ultimately empowering to do that. And I can see that that is what you're doing with the Empress and the Chariot here. And, you know, taking that deep dive to go and find that devil within, like exactly what you're doing. Exactly what you're doing, owning your own BS, and that's amazing. Aquarius, you're awesome. Do take care of yourselves this spooky season, and I will see you again soon. Bye bye.